Okay, welcome back students. So in this session, we will be learning regarding angular methods of curve setting. So in the previous class, we had studied by offset from chord method, right? Offset from chord method. Recall, we have studied this particular method, offset from chord method, wherein we are drawing offset. Okay, we are drawing offsets from chord. Okay, chord produced. So let me just show you the particular formula that we will be using. So first first offset, for first offset, this is the formula C1 squared by 2R. Okay, C1 squared by 2R. Okay, coming to second offset, O2 is equals to this. Okay, O2 is equals to what? C2 squared by 2R. Okay, if it is 2, is 2 will come over here, second chord. Okay, O2, hence C2. C2 by 2R, C1 plus C2. Okay, so third offset will be what? O3 is equals to C3 by 2R, 2C plus C3, C2 plus C3. Okay, in general, what we can assume? We can assume this particular thing in general, that is Cn by 2R, Cn minus 1 plus Cn. Okay, where n is what? The nth offset. Okay, nth offset, Cn by 2, the previous chord plus the current chord which we are dealing with. Okay, so I hope you recall all these methods which we are studying. So this comes under linear method. Okay, coming after linear method, coming to I think we have done this particular problem, right? Have we solved this problem? Yes. Wherein we assume this particular as first chord, initial chord, and this as last chord, C dash, and all these chords are equal in length, right? 20-meter interval, I think 20 meter, right? All these. So we have done this particular problem. So similarly, one more problem you have for the practice, I am showing it on a screen. You can practice this as an homework, and you can try to solve this. If you have any doubts, you can let me know. Okay, so also answers I have provided for your reference, answers, all these answers I have provided. So you can try and solve as the previous problem we have solved, the same method you can apply to this particular formula, to this particular problem, and you can solve. Okay, so this is regarding linear methods. Okay, we are done with linear methods. Now after linear methods, we have to start with angular methods of curve setting. Okay, we have angular methods. Now in the first method, we had only chain and tape with us. Okay, chain and tape. There were only linear measurement instruments. Now we have an angular measurement instrument. We have an angular measurement instrument. Can you name one angle measurement instrument for me? Can you name one important angular measurement instrument which we usually use in the field? Angle measurement instrument.
Prismatic compass.
Theodolite.
Prismatic compass, correct, very good. And any other instrument?
Theodolite.
Theodolite, correct, very good, very good. So theodolite or any other instrument which measures your angle, okay, angle measurement. And now we are dealing with which? Horizontal plane, hence we are calculating horizontal angles, okay, horizontal angles. Okay. So instrumental methods, the second thing which we are dealing right in, that is your instrumental methods. So under instrumental methods, we have three types. We have Rankine's method, okay, we have two theodolite method, and we have tachometric method. So in your syllabus, we will be studying only this in detail, okay. So you have to remember that we have three types, but in detail, we will be studying only this first type, that is Rankine's method of tangential angles or deflection angle, tangential or deflection angle. So coming to Rankine's method, okay, Rankine's method. In Rankine's method, we use deflection angle, right? We are dealing with deflection angles. You can see we have written it here. It is dealing with deflection angle. Now, what is deflection angle? Let me show you. Okay, let us just read what is the definition of this deflection angle. A deflection angle to a point, okay, to a point, say to a point B we are considering now, to a point B on the curve, right? This point B is on the curve to any point, okay, we can consider B point, we can consider any point on the curve, right? We can consider C point, we can consider this D point, any point on the curve, consider. Then the angle at PC, angle at where PC is what? This particular point is PC, point of curve. Angle that is formed over here, angle that is formed at PC by between which? Between the back tangent and the chord from the PC to that point. So okay, we have to draw a chord from point of curvature to that point. Okay, now we have considered point B. So what I'll do, I'll draw a chord from PC to that point. From PC, I have drawn a chord, right? A straight line I have drawn to this particular point. So the angle between this back tangent, right? Back tangent is what? A to V. A to V is our back tangent, right? A to V is our back tangent. The angle between your back tangent and your chord, that is this delta 1 is your deflection angle. Okay, delta 1, that is this particular angle which is made at point of curvature. The angle, okay, at PC, angle at PC, very important, angle at PC. So angle at PC made between your back tangent and the chord at the particular point, okay, at that particular point is your delta 1. Similarly, if I take a point C, okay, I have taken a point C on your curve, I have joined these 2 points, right? So this is your chord. Then the angle made between this back tangent and your chord is your delta 2, or what we call as deflection angle, okay? So this is deflection angle which we represent as delta. Deflection angle. So is this deflection angle clear to you? Is it clear, guys? Have you understood what is deflection angle and how do you measure it? Okay, it is to be measured at point of curvature. Is it clear? This is very important. If you understand this, next thing is clear, is easy. Okay, so I hope you have understood. If you have not understood, please let me know. Okay, I'll explain once more if you want. Okay. So this is what? This is your deflection angle. Now moving on to next thing. What is Rankine's method? Okay, how do you determine this particular deflection angle using Rankine's method? We have to determine this delta, right? We set our theodolite over here, and then this delta, if we set in your theodolite, you can easily mark this point B. Okay, so we need to calculate these deltas or these deflection angles. We need to calculate. So how can we calculate? We can calculate that by this Rankine's method. Rankine method is based on the principle. Okay, it is not the principle. It is not Rankine's principle. It is Rankine's method based on the principle that deflection angle to any point. Okay, deflection angle is what? Delta. We know what is deflection angle. Deflection angle to any point on the curve. Okay, circular curve to be precise. Okay, we are dealing with circular curves. Okay, so select any point. Okay, and to calculate that deflection angle, to calculate the deflection angle delta to any point on the curve, it is what? It is measured by half. Half meaning 1/2, half of the angle subtended by the arc. Half of the angle subtended by the arc from PC to that point. Okay, we have to draw an arc. Okay, we have to draw an arc. Let me show you. So let us say that it is this particular point B. Okay, point B we are considering. So consider point B. So this is point of curvature and this is your point of interest. So we draw a chord and we name this particular delta 1, the deflection angle, as delta 1. Okay, delta 1 is the deflection angle. So this is your arc from your PC to that particular point. This is your arc. Okay, which I'm drawing in red. You can see this is the arc which is we are interested in, PC to that particular point. So the angle subtended by this particular arc, angle subtended meaning this angle. Okay, angle subtended by this arc is what? 2 delta 1. 2 delta 1. Okay, 2 delta 1 is the angle subtended. So what the principle says, the deflection angle to any point. Okay, deflection angle delta 1. Okay, deflection angle we are considering as delta 1. So the deflection angle to any point on a circular curve is measured by half. Okay, so I have written half is measured by half the angle subtended by the arc. Half the angle subtended by the arc from PC to that point, meaning PC to that point, this is the arc, and the angle subtended by that is 2 delta 1. So half of that is half of 2 delta 1. So what is now? It is equal to half, and half will cancel, right? 2 and 2 will cancel. So delta 1 is equal to what? Delta. Directly it is equal. Correct. So whatever is the angle is over here, half of this angle is what is delta. Okay, half of this angle, if you multiply this by half, you will get your delta angle, that is the angle subtended. Okay, so this is the principle which Rankine used in his method. Okay, this is the principle which is used by Rankine, okay, in his particular method. Okay, so very important, remember that the deflection angle delta is equal to half of what? Half of the angle subtended by that particular arc. Okay, half of the angle subtended by that particular arc. Okay, so suppose it is delta 2, it will be delta 2. If it is delta 3, this will be delta 3. Okay, so this is the principle on which your Rankine's method is based. Okay, so I hope this particular thing is clear. If you have not understood, you can let me know. Okay, I will explain once more. So very important. After this, now we will look into how to exactly calculate. So this is your small diagram which I have drawn. Okay, so you can see this is what? This is your back tangent. This is your back tangent. So T1V is what? Back tangent. You have to write. Okay, I have not written. You have to write. T1V is equal to back is what? It is our back tangent. And what is T1? T1 you have to write is point of curve. Okay, point of curve. So mention that over here. T1. What is T1? Next, what is delta 1, delta 2, delta 3? Now you have to mention this delta 1, delta 2, and delta 3. So let me tell you what these are. Okay, these are called as tangential angles. Tangential angles, right? So here in the title you have seen. It is tangential angle. Tangential angle, or what we call as deflection angle or deflection angle. Tangential angle or deflection angle. So a small delta, right? This delta is tangential angle, and this large delta is what? Deflection angle. Okay, so remember this. This is tangential angle, representation of tangential angle, and this is representation of deflection angle. So I've shown you what this is, deflection angle. I'll show you now what we mean by this tangential angle. Okay. So this is your radius, right? This is your radius, and this is your tangent at this point, right? Yeah, this is your radius, and at this point, if you draw a tangent to this curve, okay, to this curve, if you draw a tangent at this particular point to your radius, it will be this T1V, okay, T1V. Next, and this is your point of interest A. So what you do, you draw a chord, right? You draw a chord, and this is what? Your tangential angle, okay, delta. This is a tangential angle, right? The angle measured from the tangent to that chord, okay, and angle measured from the tangent to your particular chord is your deflection, sorry, your tangential angle. So in this particular case, it is also equal to delta, correct? In the first case, it is also equal to delta, correct? Because your delta is also the same, and your tangential angle and the deflection angle both are same in your first case, but that will not be the case in your second case. Okay, in your second case, you can see at this particular point, okay, this particular point we have drawn a tangent. So you can see this is your tangent which I have drawn. Okay, this is your tangent I have drawn at this particular point, and this is my point of interest. This is my point of interest. So I have drawn a chord. You can see this is the chord which I have drawn. This is the chord which I have drawn. So our deflection angle will be this angle, deflection angle delta 2. Okay, from your back tangent to your chord, okay, to your chord, this is your deflection angle delta 2. But a tangential angle will be from here to this chord, okay, to this chord. This is your deflection angle delta 2. Okay, so remember it is from tangent. This is from tangent of the previous point to which you have to measure. Now, similarly, if you want to measure at this particular point, if you are interested at this particular point, your delta 3 will be from here to here. It will be delta 3. Delta 3. This is your delta 3. And what will be your deflection angle will be this, and your tangential angle will be this. This will be delta 3. Small delta 3. Okay, so this is a tangential angle at this particular point, and this is a deflection angle when you're when you want to find at this particular point. Okay, draw a chord, join it, and then measure the angle between your back tangent and this chord. It will give you your deflection angle. Draw a tangent at the previous point. Okay, draw a tangent at previous point. I measure the angle between this tangent and your chord, okay, or subchord. So this angle is what? It is your tangential angle. Okay, so you have to mention what is tangential angle and what is deflection angle over here. So you can name this is delta 1, delta 2, delta 3. You can tell that these are tangential angles, and these deltas are what? These are your deflection angles. Okay, now what are C1, C2, C3? C1, C2, C3, I'll draw and I'll show it. So they are nothing but they are chord length, okay, chord lengths. So first chord will be named as C1. This is what is C1, okay. T1 to the straight line which you can see, straight line, the dotted line which I'm moving my cursor on. So this is C1, Similarly, this is what straight line which I've drawn. This is C2 chord line, and this is also the chord line C3, P to C. Okay, the straight line. This is your chord. Okay, C1, C2, C3 are your chord line. So okay, it can go up to N. Okay, C going up to Cn. Okay, C1, C2, C3, so on up to Cn. Okay, so these are your chord length. I hope it is clear now. This is our radius, no problem, radius. Now the angle subtended is 2 delta 1, 2 delta 1. Between this, okay, your arc T1 to A, the angle subtended is 2 delta 1. From your point A to point B, this is the arc, right? You can see in red arc. So that angle subtended by that arc is delta 2, 2 delta 2. Similarly, it will be 2 delta 3 and so on. Okay, 2 delta 1, 2 delta 2, 2 delta 3. So these are the various elements which are required for us to understand this Rankine's method. So I hope it is clear. So why have you can ask me, why have we taken 2 delta instead of delta? So because we know that the property, it is half into 2 delta 1, right? So this is equal to delta 1, right? We know this principle which we will be using. So if we use 2 delta, we can easily cancel out this 2 and we can easily make a note that this is delta 1 is equals to small delta 1. Right? Deflection angle is equals to tangential angle. We can easily calculate it. And if you take only delta, what will happen? It will become delta by 2, delta 1 by 2 equal to delta 1. So it will be a bit of it will be difficult for you to calculate. So what we'll assume, we will assume that this angle is 2 delta 1. Okay, so moving on to your next thing, moving on to further calculations. So I hope the principle and the various elements that are required are clear. I hope all these things are clear. One more thing is what we assume is the length of the arc is approximately equal to its chord, right? Suppose you want to, this is your arc, A to B is the arc, okay? A to B is this particular circular arc. And the chord you can see in black color I have drawn, that is the straight line. So what we assume is this particular length and this particular length is equal. Both of these are approximately equal in length, we assume. Okay, that assumption you have to write clearly whenever you are deriving this particular equation. Mention that we assume that the length of arc is approximately equal to its chord. Okay, suppose it is from B to C, then this arc length is equal to this chord length. Okay, individual arc and individual chord length are equal. Okay, so now moving on, I have derived to you already this particular thing, right, from your particular Rankine, so from your principle, okay, from your principle of tangents, okay, principle of tangents we have used and we have derived this particular equation, that is delta 1 is equals to, for first deflection angle, right, this particular deflection angle is nothing but equal to your delta 1. Delta 1 is equals to your small delta 1 or a tangential angle. So this particular thing is done. Now coming to your second one, right, second one, that is from here to here, this is your delta 2. Deflection angle 2, which we need to calculate. First one is very easy, no problem. Now second, delta 2. Okay. So before we move to second, one more thing which we have to take care is this particular delta 1 will be unknown to us. This will not be given to us. We have to calculate it in terms of radius and in terms of chord length. Okay, we have to convert this particular delta 1 in terms of radius and chord length. So now let us look into how we can do this conversion. Okay, so this is T1 to A. I have considered this particular arc. Okay, this particular arc, right? T1 to A. I have drawn it again. This T1 to A and this radius. Okay, this particular sector of this circle I have taken out separately. Right, this piece of your pie I have taken and I have drawn over here. T1 to A. So this is known as chord length, right? C1 chord length, right? Which is equal to this. No problem. Then radius R is there and the angle subtended is 2 delta 1. Okay, 2 delta 1, no problem. Now can you tell me if it is 2 delta 1 for this particular sector, it is 2 delta 1, and for the entire circle it will be what? Entire circle it will be 360. For this particular sector it is 2 delta 1 and for the entire circle it will be 360, right? So that is what I have written here. First thing that you have to write in numerator is for the sector, and in the denominator you can write for the whole circle. Okay, for the sector the angle subtended is 2 delta 1, and for the whole circle, this degrees, you know, a circle is made up of 360 degrees. Okay, next, dealing with this length of your length of your arc. Okay, length of your arc. So length of your arc, first this I will write as T1A. Length of the arc is T1A. I have written in numerator, and the length of this perimeter of this whole circle, right, which this sector is a part of the whole circle. We know the perimeter or the circumference is 2 pi r, correct? 2 pi r. So this particular length we will name it as C1, right? C1 divided by 2 pi r. Correct. For the sector, you write first in the numerator, and in the denominator, you write for the whole circle. That is 2 pi r. So this is regarding your length, and this is regarding your delta or your theta. Okay, now this can be simplified, right? This can be simplified. 2 and 360 can cancel out. So this will become 180, and this 180 will go on the other side. Okay, 180 will go on the other side. So 180 divided by 2 pi, I have separated out 180 degrees. Okay, 180 degrees divided by 2 pi, and this C1 by R. Okay, T1 is what? Nothing but C1, right? It is the length of your chord. So it's at C1 by R. Okay, C1 by R I have separated out. So you can simplify this particular 180 by 2 pi. 180 divided by 2 pi, if you do, it will come as 28 degrees. Okay, 28 degrees. So we will convert this degrees into minutes. Convert this degree to minutes by multiplying it by 60. Because this usually this delta angle will be very small. It will be terms of minutes. Okay, so we will convert it into minutes. So multiply angle this degrees by minutes. You will get as 1718.9. 1718.9 C1 by R. C1 by R in minutes. Okay, remember this answer is in minutes. Okay, this is in minutes. So this answer that you get delta 1 will be in terms of minutes. So now what we can do, we can substitute this particular delta in our formula. Over here we can substitute. Okay, we have converted it in terms of radius and in terms of chord length, correct? We know the chord length, right? Chord interval we can set, say 20 meters, say 10 meters, 15 meters. We can set chord interval, and radius will be given to us. Okay, radius will be given, or we can also calculate radius using various equations. Okay, so we have successfully derived a relationship between delta 1 and radius and r. So we can substitute that particular thing over here. So delta 1 is equals to what? 1718.9 into C1 by r. So this is what we have to use for calculation of the first deflection angle. First deflection angle, this we have to use. Okay, very important. So is the first deflection angle calculation clear? Can you let me know if this is clear? Yes, is it clear, guys? I hope it is clear. If you have any doubts, please let me know. Okay. Okay. So once first is done, now we have to calculate second, no, delta 2, delta 3, and so on up to delta n. First is done. Only the first thing is done. Now we have to calculate second, third, and we have to check whether we can form any relationship between chord and this radius and this deflection angle, right? And whether we can form a generalized formula. We have to derive this generalized formula. Okay, so now the second one. So for the second one, you can see on our screen, this is a deflection angle. I have explained to you, this is a deflection angle, right? This is my second point. So I have joined this particular using a chord, using a straight line. I have joined these points T1 and B, and the angle between your back tangent and this particular chord, right? It is delta 2. It is at point of curvature. Okay, point of curvature angle that is measured is delta 2. This is your deflection angle 2. Okay, I have told you the tangential angle, right? Tangential angle. So at the previous point, if you draw your tangent, okay, draw your tangent at this particular point, it is like this. You can see this dotted line which I am drawing my cursor on. So that is your tangential angle. This is your tangential angle, and the angle between this tangent and this chord, right? Your chord A to B, this chord and this angle, right, is your tangential angle delta 2. Okay, we know this is delta 1, which is equal to deflection angle, right? We know this is what we have derived. And now we want this particular delta 2. So delta 2 is what? Delta 2, we know delta 2 is equals to delta 1 plus delta 2. This particular angle is summation of this delta 1, right? This angle plus this angle, if you add, okay, it is a property of a circle, right? It is a property of a circle. If you add this particular angle and you add this particular angle, you will arrive at this total angle. Delta 1 plus delta 2 will give you the total deflection angle. So this is very important. Okay, you have to remember. Now delta 1, you come here, or you can observe here, delta 1 we have already calculated. No, it is nothing but your deflection angle, right? We have derived this thing. Now what is delta 2? We have to calculate. Delta 2 we have to calculate. We do not know this delta 2. So similarly, what we can do here, how we have done, no, same thing we can do, and we can calculate this delta 2, and we can substitute, and we can calculate for deflection angle delta 2. Okay, so this is for your second one. This is for a second one. So similarly for a third deflection angle, okay, for a third deflection angle, it is delta 1 plus delta 2 plus delta 3. That is a summation of all the tangential angles. Summation of all the tangential angles. So delta 1 plus delta 2 is what? Delta 1 plus delta 2, you can see here, delta 1 plus delta 2 is nothing but your deflection angle 2. Correct? Deflection angle 2. So instead of this, I have substituted deflection angle 2, and this delta T3 has come over here. So can you observe a pattern now here? Can you observe a pattern? So yes, we have a pattern, right? So if you name this as delta n, so this will be what? 3 minus 1, right? 3 minus 1. Hence I will write it as n minus 1. And this is nothing but 3, right? 3 and 3. Hence if it is if this is n, this will also be n. So delta n is equals to deflection angle at any point. Okay, at any point is equals to deflection angle of the previous point plus the tangential angle, plus the tangential angle. So this is the generalized formula which you have to remember for calculation using Rankine's method. Okay, Rankine's method, if you want to use, you can use this particular general formula. Okay, what is this delta? Delta, we know it is what? Delta is nothing but 1718.9 into C by R. Okay, what is C? C is that particular chord length. Okay, particular chord length, and radius is constant. Radius is constant, whether it is 1, 2, 3, does not matter. Okay, C1, C2, C3, you can substitute based on what deflection angle or what tangential angle you are calculating. 1, 2, 3. Similarly, here it will vary 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I hope this particular derivation is clear. So a few things regarding this derivation here. Okay, hence the deflection angle for any chord, okay, as I've told you, for any chord is equal to the deflection angle for the previous chord. Okay, deflection angle for the previous chord plus the tangential angle for that particular chord. Okay, so we know how to derive and how to calculate. Now we can derive and calculate. Now we need to learn how to set this particular curve in your field. Okay, suppose you have all these delta values with you. Delta values, you have delta 1, delta 2, then you have your radius with you, right? This changes, you have T1 and change T2 you have with you. Okay, last point T2 you have. Now you need to understand how to particularly use your theodolite and set your curve using this particular method. Okay, so I have written in short, in short points I have written, okay, but in exam you have to write in detail. Okay, write in detail. So let me draw your first, let me draw and explain to you. So this is your radius, okay, 0, and then this is your radius R, and then this is your point T1. Okay, this is our back tangent, no problem. This is our back tangent T2V. We know this particular chainage. We will set our theodolite at this point. Okay, set your theodolite at T1. Okay, then bisect this particular point V. We know this point V. You can observe this point B, and you can make your both the circles 0. Okay, your left circle and your right circle, you have no horizontal circle, you can make 0. Okay, on your main scale you can make 0, your horizontal angle on your theodolite. You can bisect and you can make the scale, I think A and B scale, right? Horizontal scales are A and B, vertical scales are C and D, correct? Am I correct? Horizontal scale and vertical scale, theodolite. Can you reply, please? Can you tell me which scale is which? Is this horizontal and this is vertical, correct? A and B scale are horizontal.
AB are horizontal, sir, and CD are
CD are vertical, correct? So make sure. Okay, thank you. So you can bisect V and you can make horizontal scale A and B. Okay, 0, A and B, horizontal scale. Okay, A will be 0 and B will be plus 180, correct? If A is 0, B will be 180, and if you make B 0, A will be 180. Because A and B are located opposite, right? A and B are located on the opposite sides. Okay, you can make your horizontal scale 0 after you bisect V. Okay, then what you do, you clamp your lower screw, loosen the upper screw of your plate, upper screw plate you can loose, and you can set this particular delta 1 which you have calculated. Okay, delta 1 in some degrees you have calculated. You can move your theodolite in that particular direction. Okay, delta 1 you move, and then you know this particular chord length, you know the chord length C1. Now keep the zero end of the tape over here and make sure chord length say 20 meters, you know 20 meters will come over here. Then on this particular line, you use your tape measure, mark 20, and this particular delta angle we will be setting from your theodolite, right? You can mark this, and if this particular point A is set on your field. Similarly, you will be knowing delta 2, right? So turn your theodolite in terms of degrees, right? Delta 2, and you can keep it in this direction. Then using your tape from this particular point, you mark your chord interval, that is 20 meters, right? You have set that you will be using chord interval of 20. Sorry, not this particular length. It is from here. Okay, from here. Okay, this is your 20 meters. So you can draw an arc and you can cut until it bisects this particular line of sight, until it bisects. So you have set your point B. Similarly, you can mark a various number of points, right? And you can continue up till you reach T2, right? Up till you reach tangent point 2. You have to continue this procedure until you reach tangent point 2. So this particular thing I have written in short over here. You can write in detail later on when you are writing in your notebook. Okay, so for this particular thing, you require a person at theodolite, right? You require a person at theodolite to measure the angles, right? And to set your angles. And you require 2 persons, right? One to hold your zero end of the tape and one to mark, right, at the 20 end, right? So you require totally how many persons? 3 persons are required for this method. Okay, 3 persons are required for setting out a curve using Rankine's method. So I hope this particular procedure is clear. I hope it is clear. So I've written in short. You can later on go through the detailed procedure. I will send it to you. Okay. So can you now reply whether you have understood or not? You can raise your hand if you have understood Rankine's method. So this is all regarding Rankine's method. Please raise your hand if you have understood Rankine's method. Please raise your hand if you have understood Rankine's method. Let me see how many of you are active. What about others? Amrut, then Harshita, Kajal, Kempanna. Please raise your hand if you have understood. Nikhil Sarapure. Nikhil Kattimani.
Yes, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Nikhil Kattimani, I think, is not there. Then Vinay Devareddy. Okay, thank you. You can lower your hand, lower your hand. Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is regarding your Rankine's method. So it is using what? Deflection angles. Okay, deflection angle and tangential angles. I hope what is a deflection angle and what is a tangential angle is clear to you. Now we will look into a few numericals regarding this Rankine's method. Okay, Rankine's method. I will show you a numerical so that it will be clearly understood by you. Okay, so you can see a figure I have taken out from the textbook. You can see this is how you have to draw in your notebook. Okay, I'll mention clearly which are delta 1, delta 2. Okay, deflection angles you can see are here, and these are your tangential angles. Okay, tangential angles. So this detailed procedure is mentioned over here. You can go through this later. Okay, detail of setting out the curve using Rankine's method. Okay, one check that can occur over here. One check that you can do is, okay, one check that you can do here is, once you arrive at T2, okay, once you arrive at T2, the point of tangency is already known to us, right? This particular point of tangency, suppose it is over here, point of tangency T2. This chainage will already be known and this will be fixed previously, and this will also be fixed. So once you arrive using Rankine's method, this particular T2 and whatever you have calculated and you have arrived, they should intersect. properly, they should be in place. If there is some error, then you have done wrong. Okay, so this is the check that you can do. The last point so located must coincide with the point of tangency, fixed independently by measurements from the point of intersection. Okay, so this is the check what you can do, right, on point T2. Okay, T2, that is point of tangency. Okay, so are you able to read this particular? Can anyone read out the particular the statement for me? Abhishek Jalligad, are you there, Abhishek? Yes. Can you read this example statement for me, please? Can you read this statement?
Calculate the necessary data for setting out of the curve for if it is included to set out of the curve by Rankin's method of tangential angles. If the theodolite has been least count of 20 degree, tabulate the actual readings of deflection angles to be set out.
Okay, okay. Thank you. So this is a thing, this is a numerical wherein we have to use what? Rankine's method of tangential angles. Okay, so they have clearly mentioned. So the necessary data for setting out a curve in example 1.3, meaning the previous example which you have solved, okay, the same data we have to calculate, we have to take. Okay, let me just show you this particular example 1.3. So I hope you remember that we have solved this particular 1.3, right? We had calculated the tangential length, right? They had given us the vertex V, chainage of V vertex, and we have calculated the tangential length, and we have arrived at this particular point of curve by PC, and then we calculated the length of your curve L, right? And we added to this length to PC, we add the length of your curve, and we arrived at point of tangency. Correct. So we have calculated all this tangent length, right? We have calculated length of your curve. We know the chainage of PC. We know the chainage of PT. Okay, so all that, I hope you recall all these things. So this was the chainage of PC, and this was the chainage of PT. Okay, 1050 and 1314. So the peg interval was 20 meters, right? 20 meter was the peg interval given to us. So C, the initial subchord which we had calculated, what was it? Initial subchord was 9.48, which we will write as C1 initial subchord, and the last subchord we had calculated, it was 14.94, right? C dash. Okay, all the intermediate chords we will represent as capital C. Okay, capital C. And how many number of chords are required? Total number of chords required are 14. Okay, 14. First is initial subchord, then last is your last subchord C dash, and 12 number of intermediate chord. Okay, 12 number, how have we arrived? So 1300 minus 1600 by 20. That is okay. So there was some network issue. So let us continue. Okay, so I have told you what initial chord is 9.48 meter in length. The last chord is 14.94 meter in length, and all the intermediate chords are 20 meter in length. Okay, we have calculated and we have decided all these things. So number of total chords, I have told you it was 14 number of total chords. Okay, so these data are required for us to calculate. So what is the radius also we require? Radius of the curve is 300. Okay, radius is 300. So all this data we have to take from this particular example, 300 meters. Now coming to our example. Okay. So you can see that the initial chord at C1 I have taken as 9.41. This is C dash, that is last chord, and these are intermediate chords, right? 20 meter in length. Okay. Okay. And the delta angle which they had given, the total deflection angle total was 50 degrees. I think 50 degrees 30 minutes, correct? 50 degree 30 minutes. So remember this also, we will be requiring this later on. Okay, this is your total deflection angle. This will be requiring later on. Okay. Now tangential angle delta. This particular formula we have derived. I hope you recall delta is equals to 17189.9 into C by R. Okay, the answer we get is in minutes. Okay, answer which we get is in minutes. Okay, R I have told you it is 300 meters, which is given to us. Okay. Now, so chord we have to substitute depending upon the tangential angle which we are calculating. So delta 1, we have to use chord 1. For delta 2, we have to use chord 2. Similarly, for delta 3, we have to use chord 3. Okay. So for first chord, delta 1, for first chord, we know the chord length C1 is what? 9.48. So 9.48 by 300, 1718.9 into 9.48 by 300. So this is in minutes. Okay, 54 minutes, 19 seconds. 54 minutes, 19 seconds is the first delta 1. Okay, delta 1 we have got. Next, from delta 2 up to delta 13. From delta 2 up to delta 13, the chord length is common, that is 20 meters. Chord length is common, 20 meters, right? The chord interval we had set, it is 20 meters. So how many number of chords? 12 number of chords. Okay, 12 number of chords. This is one chord, first chord, and this is last chord. So totally 14 number of chords, right? So here we will calculate for all the intermediate chords. It is the same thing, 20. Okay, this is not changing. 20. Hence, from delta 2 up to delta 13, it is 1718.9 into 20 by 300. So it is coming as 114.593 minutes. Okay, remember it is in minutes. So convert this minutes to degrees. Convert this minute to degrees divided by 60. Okay, divided by 60, you will get in 18 degrees. Okay, 18 degrees. Or you can directly substitute this in calculator. I hope you know how to substitute in calculator and calculate it in degrees. So you have to substitute as 0 degrees, 114.593 degrees. Okay, in this way you have to substitute in calculator and press equal to. It will give you answer in degrees. It will say 1 degree, 54 minutes and 35 seconds. Okay, in this term it will give you directly if you just press equal to. Okay, you can try it out later on in your calculator. Okay, so for the last chord we know it is 14 meter in length, right? Last chord is 14 meter. So last chord length is 14. The rest all things are same. You can substitute. You will get in 85 minutes. Convert this 85 minutes to degrees. Okay, convert this 85 minutes to degrees. Now you have to prepare this particular tabular column. Now prepare this tabular column. No need of this particular tabular column. This theodolite reading. No need of preparing this thing. Okay, only this deflection angle. If you prepare, it is fine. Okay, delta 1 is equals to deflection angle is equals to the tangential angle. The first case we know, right? So it will be the same thing which you have calculated. No change over here. 54 minutes, 19 seconds, right? 54 minutes, 19 seconds. Directly you can substitute. Now delta 2 we know it is delta 1 plus delta, right? Correct. This particular delta 2 is the previous delta plus the current delta, that is delta 2. Okay, this is delta 3, this is delta 4. But why have they not written this particular delta number? Because all these values are same from delta 2 going up to delta 12. All these values are same. So they have written it directly as delta. Here you can see they have mentioned they will be writing it as delta. You can directly write delta, or you can mention the numbers also if you get confused. No problem. Okay. Delta 2 is delta 1 plus delta, right? So this particular angle, right? This particular angle plus what? Plus your delta 2. This angle you have to add. In our calculator, if you add, right, 0 degree, 54 minutes, 19 seconds plus 1 degree, 54 minutes, 35. If you add, you will get this answer. Okay, so this is what? This is your deflection angle 2. Now to calculate deflection angle 3 to this particular angle, right, to delta 2, what you have to do? You have to add a delta. Meaning you have to add this particular again. You have to add 1 degree, 54 minutes, 35 seconds. You have to add again. Then you will arrive at this particular 4 degree, 43 minutes and 32 seconds. Okay. Similarly, you have to add delta for all of these angles, right? Go on adding to each of this. You will get your consecutive angles up to delta 12. Okay, up to delta 12 you will get. Then for delta 13, last, what you have to do for last, delta 14 is equals to delta 13 plus delta 14. Delta 13 here it is 23 degrees 49 minutes 26 seconds plus your delta 14. Delta 14 is what? It is not same, it is different. It is not 1 degree 54 minutes. It is what? 1 degree 25 minutes. Okay, delta 14 is different. Delta 1 is different. Delta 14 is different. All the other deltas are same. All the other intermediate delta which you are using, right, tangential angles are same, 1 degree 54 minutes. So make sure you do not make a mistake over here. Okay. So this particular, you have to use a different value here, and from 2 going up to 12, all these values are same from here up to here. The delta, small delta, okay, I'm talking about small delta, it is same. But here again your delta changes. It is delta 14, which is what? 1 degree 25 minutes. Okay, so 23 degrees 49 minutes 26 seconds plus 1 degree whatever it was. So if you add, you will arrive at your last deflection angle. Okay, so let me show you where this last deflection angle is. Last deflection angle is at point T2, right? It is your nothing but your long chord, right? It is nothing but your long chord, correct? So it is long chord. Delta, final delta is this particular angle, right? From here to here, this is your deflection angle, last one. So we can check, we can do one check. So this particular last delta 14 is equal to half of your given delta angle. Half of your given delta, it has to be equal to, okay, it has to be equal to half of it. So what was the given delta angle? I told you this is your given delta angle. This was given, okay, and what was the last delta angle? Delta 14. So this has to be equal to half of your delta, So if you multiply half by this 50 degree 30 minutes, how much is it? 25 degree 15 minutes, correct? 15 minutes. Half of a delta, divide this by 2, it is 25 degrees 15 minutes. So this has to be what? Delta 14. So this is our check. Let us check whether we have arrived correct. So we have arrived to 25 degree 15 minutes, but there is some error in seconds. 1.2 seconds is the error, so it is very negligible. Okay, you can neglect this, you can write it as 0, 0. You can see in the theodolite reading they have neglected it and written it as 0, 0. So this is how you can check the given delta angle divided by 2. Your final angle should be equal to that. Okay, 50 degree 30 minutes is the given one. Divide that by 2, it is 25 degree 15 minutes. Half of that, right, it is 25 degree 15 minutes. That has to be equal to your last deflection angle. That is deflection angle at your P, at your point of tangency, PT. So this table you have to prepare when you want to calculate what? You want to calculate deflection angles. So with this deflection angles in your hand, okay, in your hand, you can follow the procedure which I had explained, and you can set out your curve in the field, right? With this data, you can set out your curve in the field. So this is the preliminary calculation which you require before going into the field. You have to do all these calculations, prepare this table, and go with this table, you have to go on site and you have to set your curve. Okay, the procedure is written over here. You can see this procedure you have to follow, and you have to set this particular curve. Okay, so is this numerical clear, guys? I hope it is clear. If you have any doubts, you are free to ask. Okay, don't hesitate to ask doubts. Many of you will be having the same doubts. Okay, so if you have not understood any of the parts, please let me know. And those who have understood can please raise their hand and let me know that you have understood the particular problem. Yes, everyone who has understood, please raise your hand, and if anyone has any doubts, you can ask. Okay, so okay, you can lower your hand. Okay, lower your hand, no problem. So last time also we had left out a few problems. I think today also it will not be able to cover those. So we have to cover a few numericals. Still we have to cover 2 more numericals. Okay, example number, you can see example number 1.2 you have to cover. So this one is left out. We will cover this in the next class. So these are very easy, right? A linear method. These are in linear methods using tangents. Offset from tangent method. I hope you recall offset from tangent. We have 2 types, radial and perpendicular. So we have to calculate using their formulas. So we will do this in the next class. Okay. So you can give your attendance quickly. And once you give your attendance, you are free to exit the session. Okay, so with this, we are done with simple curves. Okay, we are done with simple curves. After this, we have to start with what? We have to start with compound curves. You have to start with compound curves. So simple curves is done. Okay, so this simple curves is done. After simple curves, we will be dealing with compound curves, and after compound curves, we have to cover transition curves. Okay, so simple curves are very easy. Compound curves are a bit difficult to understand. So make sure to attend the next class. Do not miss your next classes. I hope everyone has given their attendance. Quickly give your attendance, and feel free to ask any doubts. Okay, in your group or personally, you can ask me anytime. Okay, if you try to solve and practice in your home, in your notebook, and if any doubts, please let me know. I hope everyone has given their attendance. Yes, Ravi Tarle, Manju,